Biggar Real Estate team is, well, one of the bigger luxury real estate teams here in Langley. And on this episode, we talked about the importance of having a strict daily routine.
Can I trust them with selling this $5 million property, yes or no?
The type of clientele that they're seeing purchase luxury homes here in Langley.
We've certainly seen a lot more money come from Vancouver out this way.
Wow.
And we sank our teeth into a delicious local lunch. So if you want to learn about all that and so much more, make sure you watch until the end because we left the best for last. And if you haven't already, click subscribe because on this channel we talk about everything Langley, news, events, and businesses. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Live from Langley BC.
So let's get into it.
Sure.
Like, funny enough, one of the reasons I brought you guys on, obviously, you guys are Langley residents, Langley business owners, and you're in the Langley luxury real estate space. So we're going to touch on that. But before we get into that, I want to talk about, we were already talking about some of your passions, and that's health and fitness. And, you know, tell people about a little bit about yourself and how you manage your day-to-day routine of being a luxury agent in Langley and what you need to really, get the gears turning on a day-to-day basis.
Right?
Yeah.
You can kick it off.
Kick it off.
Old men first.
OMS first, old man strength.
Age before beauty.
Yeah, old man strength first. I think, first of all, thanks a lot, Daniel, for having us on, man. It's honestly a privilege, and we're flattered that you wanted to carry on with the podcast here. So thank you so much for hosting it, and thanks for the invite, man. I think at the end of the day, everyone has their approach to life, and everything that you do in your day-to-day impacts not only yourself, but everyone around you. And I'm not exactly a morning person, like many people are. It's tough, man. Like, it's not easy. I think in order to really substantiate and justify what you're doing in the morning will impact the remainder of your day. So if you wake up because you slept in or you push snooze 5 times, you've already set that tone for the day that
Totally.
I'm weak. I didn't have the discipline to get my feet on the ground right away. I pushed snooze, so I went to comfort and lack of discipline to get my feet on the ground and get moving. And then all of a sudden, it just spirals thereafter in a rush. I didn't make breakfast. Now I got to stop at Starbucks, McDonald's drive-thru, smash my face with a McMuffin or Starbucks breakfast sandwich. They're all complete garbage to begin with. And then all of a sudden,
You're starting in the red, basically.
You're already digging yourself a hole before you've even set your feet on the ground when your alarm went off.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm just as guilty, man. I've done that just like millions of people have, primarily in North America, right? Because of modern day conveniences. Improvements that I have made that have been actually life-changing, and Matt and I have always talked about this, is get up early. If you've had a shitty long night, guess what? Get up early anyway. Feel that tiredness and that discomfort, because then you're going to learn, okay, I'm going to get to bed at a reasonable time and then get back on my regular schedule. So getting up early, number one. Whatever that early is for you, it's different for everyone. So get up early. I just started this as well, which is absolutely amazing, is cold showers. 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
I'm not there yet.
Full cold, yeah. And
I'm on the full cold, but
full cold.
staggering up.
I find I'll put a song on that's like, I'll have like a playlist of songs that are roughly 3 minutes, and I'll just throw one on, because then that way I like kind of get into the song, and like it helps me a little bit. Then I'm not looking at the clock. Then the song's done. I'm like, okay, boom, that was roughly like 3 minutes and 20-something seconds or whatever. Like, I find that helps.
For sure.
But
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are sitting in frozen rivers, so I mean, a cold shower is nothing compared to what you guys do.
The full plunge is different. Yeah. When you're fully immersed, the intensity has now just gone up quite, and especially in nature too. Like when you're in a river or in the ocean.
And like I said to you, like for me, with the cold plunges, what I struggle with the most is like my feet get so cold. My whole body,
numbs,
I can deal with the numbing of my hands, everything. It's my feet that's like this like piercing pain that I'm like, oh man, like they're numbed. This sucks. Like that's where I go first. Like that's where I end up tapping out. But like New Year's Day, I was like, it was unbearable at that point. I was like, I'm out.
That's crazy.
For me, similar to your feet, Matt, it's actually my eyelids. I don't know why, but if I do a full submersion, or if I'm getting cold water constantly, or in a river and the rushing water is splashing my face, it's my eyelids that feel like someone's jabbing it with a needle. I don't know why it is that way, but yeah, it's my eyelids that hurts the most. So I try to kind of I like to do the full plunge and kind of head under, but then it gets to a point where I can't bear it anymore, and I can't. It actually hurts to open my eyes, and then I start just kind of rubbing my eyelids to kind of rewarm them, because it's obviously the cold that's causing that. But I think back to your morning routine, Daniel, is how you do something is how you do everything. If you start your day off like a piece of shit, the remainder of your day is a high probability it's going to be shitty. If you start your day off right, have the discipline to wake up when you're supposed to wake up, go to bed when you're supposed to go to bed, have a cold shower, because that's challenging. 3 minutes full cold, step in, have a timer, step out, rewarm naturally, don't put it on blazing hot after. Sit down somewhere in your house or your apartment or condo, wherever you live, or maybe even outside if it's a nice, beautiful morning and the sun's starting to come up already. Journal, do your affirmations, read, have a coffee in hand, have your water, have your vitamins, whatever your morning routine is. If you do that consistently, religiously, and do not deviate from it, and truly give it a shot, not try it for a few days and, oh yeah, I did this, then what? No, I mean like a month. Give it a month, 4 weeks, and then analyze your life as to your performance, how you feel, everything from physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. How did it impact you?
So
is it shitty, or did it actually work? Is it work? Because it's not going to work for everyone. Some people are going to be like, this is garbage. I hate this. I get too anxious because I know I have to step into a cold shower. Forget that. That's stupid. I don't like this. Well, great. Modify it to what works for you. I know what works for me, but everyone's different.
Would you say that the routine definitely changed the trajectory of like your career in real estate, or were you always like doing all right and, you know, exceeding in real estate, you were just lacking, you know, in your health and wellness?
Well, I think for me, with the morning starts, it's like I've noticed more so lately. I find like I don't have enough time for myself, like with real estate, and then now like being engaged, and then fiance wants me with her at all times. I'm like, when do I have time for just me? And then I find if I like when I go to the gym, I always get distracted. Like I'll see someone that I know, start talking. I'm like, that's not really time for just myself. So I find I'm not as consistent as Guy is with the morning routine, but when I am doing it, it's that for me, I can't do the 5 a.m. because I stay up later. So 6 a.m. And I find that 6 till 8 a.m. like there's no one bothering me. Madison usually sleeps until 8, so my phone's dead. There's just nothing pulling me away from like that alone time with myself where I can really think and dig deep into my thoughts, which is something that I don't think many of us have enough time to do. And then just schedule-wise too, like I'll go to the gym in the morning, get that out of the way, and then it just gives me more time once I'm done work to spend time with my brother, Madison, family, whatever it may be. Otherwise, I'm going to the gym at 7 o'clock, home by 9, all jacked up on pre-workout, and then I'm staying up till 12 o'clock at night. Like it's almost like you start spiraling out of control with that habit. So I'm trying to do better at the morning wake-ups, but like Guy knows I need the accountability side of things, so sending him screenshots when I wake up now.
I mean, you need that, right? At first, like mentorship's so key when you're doing something out of your comfort zone, right? So, I mean, it's crazy because that I find, right, people live in extremes, and that's why they succeed, right? If you live in mediocrity, you're literally just going to live a mediocre life. So if you're waking up, and it's not extreme, but it's, you know, routine and you're dead set on it. If you're waking up early, going to the gym, doing the cold plunges, doing the diary, like all of that stuff, the regular person doesn't do, right? And it translates to now your business, your career, which is on another extreme, which is selling real estate and luxury homes in Langley, right? So
to know that you've already achieved the most difficult part of your day, where you woke up early, you did a cold shower, you journaled, you meditated, you did your personal wellness like Matt touched on, just for you, just for Daniel, just for Matt, just for Guy. No one else. No one's bothering you. You're not on Instagram. No, all that stuff is out. This is just your selfish me time. Then that's going to be transcended to how you can address hard conversations that come up throughout the day, challenging offers, challenging clients, challenging tenants. The challenges are coming. They're guaranteed they are. So if your mental state is at already a top performing level before you even step into the arena of business or dealing with clients, you're that much more prepared. and you could service them better, hence adding value to your clients and everyone else around you.
Yeah, you're prepared, right? You're prepared to take that on. You're not lacking
Absolutely.
and under-delivering. And, I mean, that's what you need to do to stand out in this marketplace because there's so much competition. Right?
Well, I think, too, like, the other side of it is just going to be the discipline side of it. Like, just to be able to do that day in, day out, that's an incredible amount of discipline to do that, and that translates to everything else. Like, are you disciplined enough to receive a phone call and then call them back within 5 minutes? Because like that's a huge game changer. Like for us, like I'll call it someone and it's like you don't hear back from them for a couple of days and it's like, oh cool, like my client's interested. Like just to be able to, okay, I missed 3 calls in this meeting, okay, boom, I'm gonna call all 3 of them back in the next 15 minutes. Like just have discipline on how you're gonna operate throughout the day. I think that's a huge game changer too. That just goes, it leads directly into your business.
Yeah, I agree. So I loved hearing about your guys' morning routine. So I had you on because you guys reflect, I think, the highest level of resident in Langley, right? You deal with them on a regular basis. So me as a regular, what was I going to say? I was going to say a word that I didn't want to use now. Just, middle class, average citizen here in Langley. What would you say, like, routine probably is a huge thing, but for, like, luxury buyers and sellers, you see their daily routine, you see how they operate. So what do you think, is different about, like, how they obviously got there for a reason? You know what I mean? So, like, what have you seen that really stood out to you that you could be like, wow.
I think if you, like, really pull it back to, like, what we were just saying is, like, they're all very disciplined in whatever their craft is. Like, they all are very just zoned in on what their business is, and that's how they're able to push it to that level that they're able to afford $4 or $5 million homes or whatever it may be. And I think it's just like they're all, and much like us as professionals, like they're all just true professionals in whatever it is that they do. Like they're not half-assing it.
Right. Wow. I mean, that makes sense.
If I may touch on something too, off of the discipline side, I think it's focus. They're very focused people in the top tiers of whatever their pursuits were. Their focus is fucking laser beam focus, and they don't allow the chatter or the noise around them, because there's always noise, allow them to derail or deviate from what their objective is. And I think that's incredibly important. And yeah, as Matt mentioned, they're uber successful in whatever field they pursued. What comes with that is their expectations now.
Right.
Whoever they take on or hire, they're going to press that now upon you because they're incredibly detail oriented. They have high expectations. They want you to deliver results. And now all of a sudden, the weight of the world of your client, of someone of that status, and yeah, you could kind of say that a little bit higher status for sure, is going to be pressed upon you now. Of those same values that got them to where they are, they're going to look at you and say, is this the type of person that acts like me or delivers like me or has got to where I am today? Can I trust them with selling this $5 million property, yes or no? They're going to size you up within chatting, probably within 6 minutes of chatting with you.
So you got to be sharp on it. You can't be lacking in any way at all.
And if you try to fake anything or if you're trying to sugarcoat stuff, that they will see right through your bullshit in 2 seconds, and there's no way you're going to get the job. So you have to have the backing, and you have to have the experience and knowledge, and proof is input, and you have to be prepared. And yeah, they're going to poke holes in your story all day long if you aren't who you say you are.
And that's what differentiates you guys, right? That's why you need to be in that, in that level of real estate that you're in. Would you say, talking about like the clientele that's in that space, would you say that they're all business owners, or like where are they coming from? Because that's something that, I mean, general consensus is always like, wow, I can't believe, somebody would come here from another country and like with their country's money buy up all the nice homes and all that, But from what I've heard from Matt is a lot of the time they're local, right?
They are, man.
They've been here, done that, So would you say the majority of them are business owners, or like they come from, different areas, coming from out of town, maybe like Vancouver or
I think
or
there's
Toronto.
I mean, we've certainly seen a lot more money come from Vancouver out this way.
Wow.
And I think COVID really spiked that, just because people looked at, they're living in, for example, a condo, multi-million-dollar condo downtown. And now you're locked into your condo because of COVID, and now you're sitting there thinking, look at what $3 million can get me in Langley. I can actually go, have this nice big piece of land. Like, I have some friends that they moved from North Vancouver and had a nice big sale price, and then they just bought acreage out in Langley, and now they're doing a hobby farm, and they just absolutely love it, because now they have just a different set of freedom of, now he goes outside in his backyard and he's shooting guns back there because he has enough room to do it. Like, it's pretty cool that, you can't do that in North Van. So I think they just see that there's a different, the money gets you so much further out here, and with that there's just other luxuries of what you can do with your land.
Wow, that's awesome. And you're not even far from Vancouver. It's 30 minutes away. Like, if you were telling me that story as somebody who lived in Chilliwack, or even further into the interior, it's, you're like, oh yeah, sure, you'll get a lot of land, but you're so far from society. Here, you're like, Langley's developing, and it's going to become, like a Burnaby in the near
100%.
future.
Well, look at 200th now. 200th Street, the West Broadway of Langley, I like to call it. Straight from...
I'm going to coin that now.
You should. Charge your royalties for it. Is right from the turnoff there on essentially the interchange, and from the highway to where that Metropolis or the Colossus movie theater is. Colossus. All the way over to probably 72nd Ave. That whole corridor is going through such an incredible change. I mean, there's massive concrete towers coming our way from Vesta and various other developers, and it's like the business district of Langley now. And people see that, and people see the future 5, 10, 15 years ahead of the game, and it's going to be something else. And we've already seen incredible moves being made.
Yeah, I think even from the standpoint of the restaurants and stuff that's coming out here, we're getting the Trattoria out here, we're getting King Taps. Those are all, I mean, if you think of King Taps, their locations is the Toronto location, Kelowna location, now they're going to have a Langley location. So to put that on the map, and for them to be able, I mean, at the end of the day, a company, I guess what Earls owns them now, they have people that are doing real estate research for them, and they're looking at Langley, looking at it as a whole, and they're going to say,
scouts, right?
They have
their
this
scout.
cactus across the street's been crushing it. If we bring this here, look at what's happening out here. It makes sense. They're smart investors. So I think a lot of investors are looking at Langley and seeing the potential. And I mean, us as residents, we're the ones that benefit from it.
Those larger, more sophisticated businesses
That's what I was gonna
have
say, yeah.
scouts and people that have that view of 10, 15, 20 years in advance.
And they're
Daniel,
looking at the demographic too, because it's you could
can it support it or can it not support
Exactly,
it? And then they're doing all the numbers. They're freaks. They're incredibly intelligent people that are doing all the numbers and the projections of by this year, by that year, by what's going to be happening here. How's it going to be changing? How could it benefit us? Yes, it's going to work. And similar to, you can go back to McDonald's scouts. I mean, they have massive teams that's their only duty, and their job and their specific duty and responsibility is to find locations for McDonald's and scout out real estate locations and secure them.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I bought a place right by McDonald's for that exact same reason, right? Because I understand that there's research, and that's why they're so successful. But then moving into that next year, exactly what you said, these are different types of retailers and restaurants that are coming here, where it's higher class, Yeah,
Trattoria, that's what their locations are. Kitsilano and
Westport,
yeah, and I think there's another one somewhere downtown.
What kind of food is that?
It's Italian food. It's what's the company that owns it? It's Global.
Oh wow, Global.
So they're opening at the mall
group,
there.
Global Group.
They're opening up the mall.
At the mall, yeah. Trattoria, yeah.
Willowbrook, yeah, man.
Or is that what it's called? Trattoria?
Trattoria.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It's unreal.
Gotta check that out. I'm definitely gonna do a food review for that one.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good dinner spot. It's a nice maybe a kind of a more date night type of
Yeah,
vibe.
that's what I'm thinking. Because Cactus is, it's nice, but it's got a vibe to it, or it's Cactus drinks before you're probably going out.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, it's great to hear your insight because, like I said, Langley is developing it, and it's bringing in new clientele and or new buyers and new families, and everyone's always wondering why Langley, why people are moving here, and from where, right? So you're saying that people are in the same, we're in the same province. They're just shifting over. They're moving from a fully developed Vancouver, probably more saturated, less room for growth, to now a Langley, which has a similar traits, right? You're not right on the water or anything, but it still has a little bit more space for now.
Yeah, and I think just too, like you just see that constant shift of, you know, people that were in their 20s that just finished school, they got a job downtown, so for them it made sense, okay, let's go live downtown, we're going to be close to the office, and they lived there till 25, 26, 27, then time to settle down. Okay, well, where's going to make sense for us to go? We're going to start going out east. And then like it's just a constant cycle of that just people are always coming out this way.
I really want to talk about like how we touched base on the business and being in Langley and the type of people are moving to Langley. And then why maybe Langley's better to go to rather than like Surrey or Maple Ridge or like an Abbotsford, right? So you're saying like all the developments coming here, all these restaurants are coming here that you don't see in these other areas that are popping up. So that's interesting to hear. And yeah, so like based on your business though, like these people who are reaching out to you, are they like finding you through referrals? How are you finding these you know clients that are moving here from Vancouver? Or do you have connections out there? Or I mean, everyone here, I was going to talk about this. Everyone here, so if you don't recognize Guy already, Guy is the guy that you drive by. I didn't mean to make that rhyme. He's the guy you drive by when you're driving down Glover Road and you're about to go down towards Fort Langley, or if you go towards the highway on 232 exit. He's there. How long have you been there? You've been there for a while. Those homes there, those homes. So why did they build luxury homes there? First question. Of all places in Langley, like that's, you know, a weird intersection. And Fort Langley's down there, you know, high price points. People love to be there, like to wear these kind of jackets there, you know what I mean? And then, you know, then you have the highway exit on the other side.
I think at the end of the day, Daniel, is whatever developer or investor is able to find particular land and be able to rezone it accordingly before rules changed or became more stringent, and they're able to pick it up for an appropriate price point at that time and justify building out on it, right, and building luxury homes on it. I don't think that was the forethought from the beginning. I think it's the way things went,
right?
Quite frankly. Stratified properties as well, where people were able to essentially stratify a piece of land and get permission from the Township of Langley to build 2 beautiful homes on it, but have it under the strata title as opposed to freehold land title. And there's all these other interesting opportunities that became available in Langley to allow people to build out and to profit from that. And I think we saw it go through a very interesting path. I mean, people that have been in the industry, much more of the older dogs and the veterans in the real estate world that have been in, say, Langley real estate for 30 years, and me still quite new to it, 5 years, is I don't think that was really kind of foresight of, oh, it's going to go in this direction for sure. It's going to be luxury homes built here or built there and so on and so forth. It just started going in that direction. And once those new price points or records were hit and builders and developers alike saw the opportunities going, oh, wow, that house sold for $3 million, that house sold for 3.5, that house sold for 4.5 million. There's no way I ever would have guessed that. And then that almost encouraged a whole new wave of people that had holding properties of land in funny locations, if you will,
well,
to proceed forward with it.
To touch on that, like there's, if you look at the map of Langley, which I was doing recently, and there's a lot of areas that are classified as rural, but are very close to, like, right on the corner of Walnut Grove. Like, you don't look at it and think, oh, this is like some rural area. It's like they're just classified as rural, and with that, they were able to build, you know, on those properties. Because of the zoning, you're allowed to build 2 homes on it, given its zoning. So developers looked at this and they realized that they could just stratify it and have essentially 2 separate titles. So like instead of having one big piece of land that's 2 acres, they're able to look at this and say, oh, sweet, we can actually subdivide this, stratify it, and have 2 beautiful houses. So now we have 2 1-acre parcels with 2 beautiful houses on it. It was just, there's about, I think, 150 or something different lots that are classified like that developers have just taken.
Like 216th or whereabouts is that?
Around 216th. There's other pockets kind of in Salmon River where you can do it and stuff. So they're just kind of spread out. But I think there's just a lot of opportunity for developers that came out here before the real boom and picked up land for a good price, and now they're reaping the benefits of it and building beautiful homes on it.
It's crazy how like luxury real estate in Langley is so spread out too. It's not like on one hill, you know. For a long time, it kind of was like High Point. You know, like you know, have the half acre or half acre or acre parcels up there. I remember going there and they had like the prize homes for the lottery. You're walking around like $3 million at the time, right? When I first got into real estate, I'm like, I'm gonna buy this house, you know, picking out your house before you even sold the place. And now like they're everywhere. You have houses like that, like Brookswood.
You have Castle Hill, which is it's a big, not a big development, but there's probably 30, 40 beautiful houses up there that are all nice big luxury homes on fair sized lots. And
whereabouts is that one?
You've never seen Castle Hill? So if you're driving down Glover Road, and then if you're driving out of Fort Langley, right before the hill, there's I can't remember what's the turnoff street on the side, on the left-hand side. You know where there's a golf course on your right-hand side? And then if you turn left, it takes you up to 232.
Rawlingson?
Yes, Rawlingson.
Oh, okay.
Up there used to be a castle.
Oh, wow.
So it was part castle, part house. And one of our clients actually went and looked at it or something. He told us a story about the gentleman that used to live there, and he actually had, like, the house was, I think, sold as is, where is, but the person that bought it ended up purchasing it, not knowing that the house had tons and tons of, like, medieval, like, antiques throughout the house.
Like super
and
valuable.
they were like
Incredibly
crazy, brought in
valuable.
from Europe,
I thought
everywhere.
that was code word for something.
No, like medieval antiques throughout the house.
That's crazy.
And they took that, and I think they sold it off to a couple of museums and stuff. But it was an actual castle, and then they started selling off. I don't know if it was just one big parcel that was sold off or what the backstory was, but they started just selling off parcels up there, and it's called Castle Hill, and there's some beautiful
So
houses
that's
up there.
recent too, then.
Last 10, 15 years.
Okay, so it's a little bit away.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even know about that. You don't if you don't venture up there. Actually, my fiance, she goes up there. She used to go up there for like home visits when she did like home health. So she'd tell me about these houses she'd pull up to in that area, and we drive by, and I'm like, it's farmland. What are you talking about? And it's like, these houses have, you know. She comes in, they have multiple entrances, like main entrances, and you get lost, right? So it's like, she's like, where's the entrance? Oh, come around the side, and it's like, okay, this looks like another house, and there's like 3-4 houses attached.
It's staggering how many truly luxurious homes exist in Langley, spread out all over the place, and you would never know they existed unless you're legitimately a bird, a drone, or an airplane that had the capacity to get a bird's eye view of these homes, because they're so hidden. You would never see them from the roadway, and they're designed that way because generally those people like to remain private. And they have huge hedges or various landscaping specifically designed so you can't look into their homes. And they obviously go after that exclusivity, privacy, and they want to live their lives and enjoy the quality of their lives because, yes, they have probably worked exceptionally hard and to get to where they are. Yeah.
Would you say that there's like anybody who's like famous who has bought a place, luxury home, or know of? Obviously, if it's not your client.
That's why there's NDAs, Daniel. Non-disclosure agreements.
That's true.
We can't say. We couldn't say.
No, I know of a couple Canucks guys out here, but
Oh,
just
wow.
not big names, but just
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool that they end up buying out here over like Vancouver and all those places. That's all I'm curious about, right? What type of people? I know there's a couple business owners, that like started big name brands in Vancouver.
Some Hollywood stars too, and some actors and so on and so forth. Yeah. Some actors as well.
I think what's his name was out here, Nickelback guy. He had a place out in
Oh,
Langley
yeah.
for a while, but I think everyone knew that.
Yeah.
Chad Kruger.
Chad Kruger.
I think he had a place in South Surrey and Crescent or something.
Yeah, I think it
you
was.
walk past like Blackie Spit Trail, and everyone's like,
okay.
yeah, that's his old house.
Yeah, I think I heard someone had it listed in Langley here.
And there's also so many rumors, right? And that's kind of like what I wanted out of this. I wanted to get down to the juicy rumors but I understand you guys are professionals. You can't disclose a lot of it. I'm just going to have to find somebody to investigate for me and probably hack your account.
You're going to hire a PI.
There's also
He's going to hire a PI, man.
There's one. There's a celebrity. I can't remember his name, but his son lives out here for hockey. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember. I'll have to look on Instagram and find his name afterwards. But he's seen out here quite a bit.
What is the most expensive house that you've seen in Langley?
The one that I've seen most recently listed is DJ's listing, which is I think $14 million.
DJ Denners.
It's a beautiful listing.
Where's that located?
That one's what? I think he has it.
It'd almost be Aldergrove, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's close to
Aldergrove.
Let's see.
Aldergrove.
So like Salmon River
close
or
to Aldergrove. I would even say Campbell Valley region, if not
Yeah.
that,
Oh,
isn't
okay.
it? Check it
Yeah,
out.
it's
Campbell Valley, I
it's
think, like quite far
freaking
east.
Insane.
Yeah, but it's a magnificent property.
Yeah, great.
Absolutely magnificent.
Grace Acres, $14.9 million, 232 area.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
So yeah, Campbell Valley. Huh?
yeah, that's a insane house. He's had that one listed for a bit now. That's probably one of the nicest ones that I've seen listed out here.
Yeah.
Quite some
Well, I mean,
time.
they take time, right, to
Yeah.
sell. You got to find that buyer. Like everyone says in real estate, oh, there's always one buyer. And it's like when you're selling a residential home and you need to sell it, you're not going to wait for that one buyer to come
Yeah.
through, right? That'll take a year. And that's why you guys take a year or two sometimes to sell some homes.
Yeah, it's
Right?
the way it is. Yeah, you got to be kind of gear up for that and expect that it's not going to be an overnight thing. And sometimes, hey, right time, right place, it does actually sell in a week. And because that person has been waiting perhaps for that particular product and that very specific, and it's a very tight demographic of people that are looking for
Something like that.
a house of that pedigree to sink their teeth into. And that's what they're waiting to go in. And so your demographic shrinks so much that there might be a buying pool of maybe 50 to 100 people that are looking for that, as opposed to in the thousands strictly because of affordability alone. Right.
Yeah. We were talking actually about the marketing that you need to kind of take place in that, level of real estate. With if you're waiting for a year to sell that home, you need to stagger your marketing. You need to have different angles, and that's what you guys have done so well. And you've definitely stepped outside the box, in my opinion, to compare to majority of realtors. I'm going to say like 99.9% of realtors I've seen out here have never done the level of marketing that you have done for those luxury products. So, I mean, I know what it is, but like just to your little plug in here, what kind of marketing would you say you do to add value to your clients in the luxury space?
Well, I think like what Guy and I have discussed a lot, more so recently, just because given Langley, there's such a wide spread of product, and we find that we both really enjoy just not necessarily selling luxury homes, but more so just luxury marketing for whatever it is. Like we've pride ourselves on whether it's a condo, townhouse, whatever it is, you're getting that luxury level marketing, and that it all comes down to attention to detail. Like you can make a shitty townhouse look luxurious with the right staging, the right camera angles, the right lighting, and that just comes down to us finding good photographers, videographers that have that eye. I mean, my brother's not a videographer, but there's been times that I'm like, hey, let's film, and he has an eye for it, I don't, and he'll set it up, and then he's moving a couple things, and he shows me the difference between the two shots, and just moving the way that the couch is set up makes a huge difference. So we're lucky enough that we have a good team behind us that they all have an eye for it. I mean, our videographer, he's called me like full on stress mode, like, dude, what the hell? The house is like just full on panic attack because the house is a little too messy for his liking, and then he goes and cleans it all up. So like, I mean, it's that like luxury level marketing that's what we provide, and I think that all comes down to us just. You're getting the floor plans, you're getting the HD photos, depending on what the product is. You're getting the twilight photos, day shoot, night shoot for video, so you can see the contrast of day and night. What else? Like it's the staging.
And the brand that carries it with that is everything that you're doing with regards to the marketing aspect of things, Daniel, is that luxury brand that you're trying to produce for your client. And I think at the end of the day, with regards to people's perspective on hiring us to do a job for them, they have a certain expectation, but B, even if it is a condo versus a $14 million property that Matt was talking about earlier, is to that person, that is their castle. That is their pride and joy that they've sunk a lot of money into, that may have been their first place, their second place, an investment property, whatever, but it's still very, very, very important to them because that's their single largest financial transaction of their life. And for us to be summoned to fulfill that role, it's fucking flattering. There's no other way of saying it. It's truly a privilege to be in the room with them, and they said, hey, listen, yeah, I'm considering hiring you. What can you offer? Show me your marketing. I've seen some of your stuff. I do like it. I think it's fantastic, and so on and so forth. Then you have to, of course, deliver results. In saying that, with regards to the marketing that Matt touched on, that we certainly do and take a lot of pride in, and the details is it's not fucking cheap. You get what you pay for. And there's times where I had to eat it, where I didn't sell a place and my bill is, somewhere between 15 and 18 grand. Sometimes it's worse, and you get kicked right where it hurts. And you're like, oh, that didn't work out so well. I didn't get the house or the property didn't sell. I dumped all this money into the marketing and I got skunked essentially. I got nothing in the end.
That's the part people don't
The
even
risk.
hear about real estate.
There's
too.
risk. There's the risk involved with hiring the best, making sure you put your absolute best foot forward with the intentions that this place is going to sell without question. It's going to sell.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna put my
believe
best
it.
for
You're
You
paying
believe it.
for it.
You're
right?
going for it.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be investing that money.
No. But you have to be okay that, are you okay eating crow sometimes or licking your wounds after going, oh, that didn't work out. But there's always a positive that comes out of that. There's always a silver lining. And that is, it's recognized by everyone else that saw your level of marketing for that home. Even though it didn't sell, you put everything into it.
Yeah.
And you can go to sleep happy at night going, hey, maybe I had to eat a reality pill on this one and it sucked and I didn't get paid my commission and I had to spend 15, 18, whatever the bill was to list that home for a year or 6 months or whatever it was. You put your best foot forward and you absolutely crushed it and you put your ass on the line for your client and you did your absolute best.
And I think to a degree too, like how you market homes is also how you market yourself. Like we had a client that was, I picked up on, and he kept saying, I love your guys' branding. I love your guys' branding. But when he would follow up with what he loved about our branding was how we marketed homes. And he just, like, he picked up on our photos. He picked up on how we do our videos. So, and that's what he liked. So, I mean, he didn't buy any of those houses, but in his mind, he's like, their marketing, because of the photos and the way I've seen their signs and everything, to him, that was like, a big check mark in his head.
You don't even need to throw your bus stop. You don't need to do like the flyers. Like people, it's proof. The proof is in the pudding, as you said.
And
like,
I think it just comes down to it comes down to details of just how we show up to the listing appointment. I mean, some out there that'll just show up in a Barrett Jackson Karch t-shirt to their listing appointment and then put their sign out front and their name sells the house, and they put a couple stock photos and maybe put 15 photos online, no video, and expect to sell a house. Like everything starts online now, so when people go online, they want to see sexy photos. They want to look at a house and be like, oh my, that's a condo? Holy smokes, that looks beautiful. Okay, that looks better than all other 30 condos right now in Langley. Let's go take a look at that.
You have to do that to stand out right now because there is a lot more inventory and limited amount of buyers. So I tell all my clients the same thing, but we're getting short on time. So I wanted to get into the surprise food review that you guys have been itching to get into, and I know, and I'm going to blindfold you. No, I'm not. So let's throw that on here. Where is it?
Let me put it behind you.
Okay. So what's in the brown bag, you might ask? And I'm going to have to stand up, so I'm going to talk into this standing up.
I'm gonna move this here.
So, as you know, we talked about this, and you're basically, like I said, you live in extremes. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to take this to the next level.
Oh, no.
Have an extreme food review for something that people call, the ancestral tenants.
Oh no.
With a raw
We were
liver.
talking about liver
raw
earlier,
liver.
but I don't
So
know if that's what we're
raw liver, we wanted to do that. I looked up what the effects of eating raw liver are, and unfortunately, I don't feel like feeling that way today, just in case. So I went the second best route, and we're going to promote a local restaurant that's down the street.
Awesome.
So
Oh, nice. What restaurant's that?
it's SNL,
Okay.
JRG. Right,
Nice.
Joseph Richards Group, another higher end restaurant that's
Excellent.
joined the Langley roster, and shout out Joseph Richards Group for sponsoring this podcast. I know you didn't, but I'm going to say that. But hopefully you do the next one. So I got the trio rolls, and the trio rolls we have a crab cake, we have a BLT, and we have a lobster. I'm not keen on seafoods, but I'm going to do it for the pod.
Beauty.
So let's do it. I know we were supposed to meet up for lunch, so I wanted to make it up to you guys for switching the scripts.
Awesome.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Daniel.
Yeah.
Thanks,
and
man.
It's decent food, so let's
Lobster rolls.
Those are fantastic.
Unfortunately,
Oh, yeah,
it's
those are
not.
good. Those are really
Unfortunately, it's not liver.
those are
I was
tasty.
looking.
I was a
forward
little
to
bit nervous for liver. I was
that.
like,
Yeah, I
oh.
had you guys on.
I've never had
edge of
liver,
your
but
seats there.
But the thing is, I've
So grab
heard
one,
and read.
put it in a
I'll-
box.
I've heard and read that liver is incredibly healthy for you. Like
I
it's
think you
super
have to
it's super nutrient dense.
Yeah.
Which is what is.
I was talking to Mike at the office, and I asked him, I'm like, hey, what do you think about this?
Swap.
And then he's just like, yeah, I think you need to make sure you know where it's sourced at the end of the day.
Daniel,
If it's sitting on the, if it's sitting in the shelves for a while, you're definitely playing with fire.
Right.
So here we have 3 slider type. They're called rolls, but they look like sliders.
They certainly do.
From SNL, we have a BLT with like thick cut bacon.
Yeah,
like
those
this is
look
when I read
almost.
bacon, I thought it would be like the McDonald's slices. Not gonna lie.
That looks amazing.
Starting with that one, or
This bacon one. Sure, let's start with this one. It has.
we have to sandwich it because like the shrimp one, I don't know.
Oh, is it coming
Oh,
out?
this is a crab, right? This other one.
Yeah, so it's crab cake,
my God.
lobster, and
Sweet.
this BLT one has a little bit of red onion in there. Has a sauce in there. Looks like a mayo. So we'll have one bite because we're gonna dig into 3 here.
BLT's pretty good.
Amazing.
Wow.
Oh man.
There's an applewood smoke too. So it's not just a thick cut of ham. It's actually got some
Yeah.
flavor in there.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I can't wait to finish that.
Party in the mouth. Everyone's invited, right?
One. That one's good. It's still pretty tender. It's not super dry like a what's it called?
No, good
Pork
taste.
rinds.
I love how the outside of the
That's
bun too is obviously buttered and crisped
Nice and
up,
crispy.
but yet the bun itself is super chewy and doughy. And
Yeah.
it's just
I'm gonna go for the crab.
Yeah, it looks like there's
after.
cheese on here that they've kind of melted in when they fried it, or whatever. I don't know what that
Just
is. But
nicely-
it gives it some good texture.
Nicely grilled. All right, let's see how this crab cake is.
That's a crab cake. It looked like a fried chicken.
I was excited.
It looks like a Nashville style. It has the pickle and the sauce is probably kind of like lemony.
It's really good.
Daniel, I thought you were gonna make us eat something super nasty,
I was
which I
nervous.
probably would have tried anyway, but just because
You're lucky. I
operating
couldn't
outside the
find one.
box is fun. But I'm glad this is a treat, man. This is amazing.
That's not bad. Wow.
The crab one's not bad at all.
Not usually a fan of seafood, like I said. If I had seen this on the menu, I probably wouldn't have got it if I was out for dinner. But wanted to be adventurous, which is probably like a 6 out of 10 adventurous today. Probably
That
like a
one's not bad.
3 out of 10 adventurous. This is like some people eat this. They're like, regular schmegular.
But to some people, just like eating just like raw fish is way out of their comfort zone.
That's
right?
what I was saying, right? For me,
Don't you eat sushi?
I do, but not so much like the.
Like you wear that and
Fake.
eat a California roll.
Fake sushi. Yeah,
The yam tempura roll with
Okay.
cream cheese, actually.
Ah, okay.
And then when I order that, everyone in the back's like, "Oh, we know who's here." So this is the lobster roll. It's a lobster mix, lobster salad mix. I think it's cold. Yeah. So again, same type of sauce on there, same bun. Yeah, it's good. It's definitely crisp. Is that the butter? You think the butter made that?
for sure, man. Yeah, butter on the outside and then the crisp top, I guess, on the grill.
I like the lobster one more than the crab.
Whoa.
I think the crab's just too. This flavor's too strong.
Yeah.
For me. I like crab, but it has to be by itself, I think.
I think the crab one, you kind of lose some of it because of the crispy, exterior. It's a ball, right? So there's a lot of crunch there, but you don't get the crab taste as much. Whereas the lobster, like you literally get the full texture of the lobster, which I used to hate, but I've recently come to love. Like,
Really?
especially with a glass of wine, like any seafood is just next level.
What type of wine would you pair with this, Daniel?
I'd probably go with like rich, something like dark and red. They're dark red. They're all dark red. Like a full-bodied red. Kind of like Cab Sav. Got some spice in there,
Awesome.
just to like tickle the palate a bit. You know, this I usually have like red full body wine, kind of like thicker stuff with like the meats. If I ever have like a lighter type of summery fresh wine, it's like maybe with a salad. I don't eat salad though, so it's kind of like.
I think the lobster one's my favorite. Yeah, the most flavor to it. That's good.
Didn't get any of the
I think all three of them are fantastic because
Okay, show the camera.
they're amazing.
Show the
Yeah.
camera.
You got me those.
Yeah, I had
Yeah,
one bite of each.
One bite teaser.
One bite of each, and he literally
Yeah,
just
one bite teaser.
destroyed it.
No chance. It's going.
Well, it's actually on the menu. It says it's a two bite sandwich.
Oh, it's
So
like a 2-bite brownie.
this is like
But
for
two-
me like a
two
3,
bites-
4 bite.
Two bite slider.
Bites for those.
2-bite
Pretty
slider.
much. But
Those
yeah,
are
those
fantastic.
are good. So yeah, that was SNL, Joseph Richards Group. They got a ton of different restaurants under them. Actually, in Langley, like I don't know what it is, but they seem to be based out of Langley. They have the odd restaurant in like Coquitlam and like Vancouver, but if a company like that, you know, is planting their flag in Langley, and it's so diverse. They have, you know, they have SNL, they have
Town Hall.
Town
Town Hall is just and then they have up by Walnut Grove, Oakenthorne,
The Henry.
the Henry, the Italian Austria.
The Italian Austria is really good. Actually, their pizza there is actually pretty good.
Yeah, they kind of
like
have
it.
like that, like the bubbles in the crust,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is
It's,
super unique.
What's
Makes
that?
it crunchy.
What type of pizza is that?
Forno.
Yeah. That stuff's good.
Forno oven type.
Yeah. They have
traditional Italian.
one called the Beehive, and it's like it's a spicier meat on top, but they put honey on top to offset it, and just the contrast of it's like
Beehive.
Yeah, it's lights out. Yeah,
I gotta
it's really
try
good.
that one out. Sweet. Well,
It's really good.
hopefully I get to do this again with you guys, and maybe we do get to try something a little bit. I think we were talking about some scrotum. We wanted to get into some raw balls. So that would have been interesting, but I know for a fact, whatever you had at 11:15, you probably wouldn't made it to. But this time around, I also have some stuff to do. I didn't want to be going into my next appointment with balls in my mouth.
Yeah, that might throw you off.
I don't think I ever want to go into an appointment with ball
No,
throws.
no.
Someone might pick up on this scent, Daniel, and
Oh, yeah.
throw off the appointment.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the reason you're supposed to eat that kind of stuff is because it has some sort of like hormone in it. So I'm pretty sure. Hopefully you're not doing some sort of like acreage tour after it, because like something else might be coming for
There
you.
might be some livestock in the field that might.
They'll pick up on the
They'll-
scent for sure.
Yeah, they'd be in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on here. You guys, you know, here's your plug. So throw in,
Yeah,
where can
man.
people find you? You guys have a podcast as well. You know, you have your social media. You trying to do new things in 2023, maybe?
Yeah,
I'm just airing. just
Probably in
going
the
out.
next couple of weeks.
I guess it's safe to announce now. Yeah, we could probably share that with Daniel.
So on the January 20th, we're actually switching brokerages. So we're leaving Stonehouse, which, I mean, we're both sad to be leaving. We both really enjoyed and loved the brokerage. I think great people. That's how I reconnected with you, how Guy met you. Some great agents there, and you know, loved having our office there. But we've been approached by a brokerage out in West Vancouver that's a little bit hone in on more of what we're trying to do. So on the 20th, we'll be switching to 𝐏𝐸𝐴𝐧𝐬𝐿 and bringing them. They've just launched out in Abbotsford, Kelowna. They have a South Surrey now, and now we just want to Victoria as well. They're open on the island, and we want to be able to lead for them out here in North Langley. So yeah, we'll be moving to 𝐏𝐸𝐴𝐧𝐬𝐿 on the 20th, and we'll have a formal announcement coming up soon. But we're excited to have their marketing platforms along with ours. I think we're just going to be able to offer a different level of service to all of our clients. And just really provide that luxury level marketing to whatever it is. So we're really excited to bring that for ourselves and for all of our clients.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I'm happy for you guys.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
No, thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
Sad to see you guys leave, but you know, who's to say we're not going to see each other? You
No,
know?
100%.
Hopefully we can do more of these and
Yeah.
collaborate on some other stuff. right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And then, Instagram plugs, Biggar _real estate, and then Matt Romero Realtor. I don't think there's any underscores on there. I'm pretty sure it's just Matt.
Biggar.com too. Well, all the stuff's already out there.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
type in
so
anything
just
that
go
we
on
want.
the IG and they'll find
Good
it.
old IG is pretty easy to find us.
Sweet.
And then once we launch with 𝐏𝐡𝐸𝐺𝐬, which is a different platform in its on its own, but it's a total different beast in a sense where now we have that backing and that additional boost in branding that we find that there's really not a lateral move or a neutral move where there's no downside, there's only an upside. So it certainly made sense for us, Daniel, and we were definitely honored and flattered that we got the reach and we got the call up into, so to speak, the big leagues, if you will, to call up from 𝐿𝐴𝐺𝐸 himself and went for lunch with him in West Vancouver, the beach house, and chatted about things. And yeah, we definitely had to do some thinking because it was kind of bittersweet to leave Stonehouse, because we do very much love what both Adam Lloyd and Sean Zubor are doing there and what they have done, and the culture that they're creating is phenomenal, and the people there are absolutely fantastic. So it was kind of a tough decision to make, but we feel to further our business and to kind of focus on what we really want to focus on, in particular branding and that luxury level service is that boost that they have to offer, couldn't really say no to. So
That makes
here we
sense.
are.
I mean, it's always uncomfortable, right? It's always a hard decision, and
Yeah.
the hardest decisions are the ones that have the greatest upside, right? So I totally understand that, and looking forward to seeing how you guys do it in 23.
Awesome, brother. Well, thanks for having us on.
No worries.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the
Thank
treats. These are
Yes.
They were good.
Well, I gotta
Carry us through the
still
day.
Take it home in the doggy bag, but
The doggy
sweet.
bag?
Well, yeah. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you guys on the next one.